Hi, Janaína.
Hello.
Finally, we could do that.
I'm sorry that I missed your call before. I'm very lost with technology.
Don't you worry. I'm bothering you with that, so I understand totally.
No, you're not bothered. Do you want me to set the video up? I don't know what you prefer.
Do you want me to send a video? Just what is better for you?
Do you want me to set the video so you can see my face?
I don't know. Well, maybe it's better because the idea is to put it in a blog, so it's better.
Okay, it's saying requesting video. No.
Right, perfect. But you won't see me because I have no camera, so I can see you.
Okay.
And you are lovely.
I'm very proud of, my hair collection.
So, Janaína, tell me a little bit of your story, your history. How did you get there? And you have been a teacher before here, isn't it?
Yes. I was a teacher for 5 years.
And then you decide to go to United States to try to do something different, or what do you think actually? I started teaching, I think it was a year after I started. Wait, do you want to speak in Portuguese or English? No, in English, please.
Sure. So I started working a year after, or 2 years after I started my bachelor's degree. So I started teaching at IATG, and then I taught there for almost 5 years. And I love teaching. I miss teaching so much. But I taught English, and then I got an opportunity to become we call pedagogical coordinator in Portuguese. So then I worked as a pedagogical coordinator for a year and a half, which was nice because I love teaching, but I was very frustrated with how little we get paid and how much we have to prepare. So it was nice. So I became a coordinator. Then I worked for IATG as a coordinator for 6 months, and I had the worst boss you could possibly imagine. So I then committed suicide. And then I started teaching English at Berlitz at the time. You know Berlitz? A school called Berlitz?
No, I don't, but anyway.
It's just fancy school for VIP business and students. It's just super fancy. So anyway, so I taught at Berlitz for a while. Then I became a pedagogical coordinator in a school called Quatrum.
Right.
And then I worked at Quatrum, but when I worked at Quatrum, I've been an activist for years for the violence against women, and I started thinking about going back to school because at the time I had been out of school for almost 3 years, so I was I want to get back to school, but what do I want to study? And then all the masters in Brazil were super theoretical. They were all on political science and social sciences. So then I went to this college fair, and I saw this master's that I came to take. So I came to the U.S. to take this master's degree, which is called Global Development and Peace. Then, so when I started working as a coordinator in the school, I was already in the process of coming to the U.S., so I was there, but it was just temporary. So then, not very sure of what I was going to do with my master's, how am I going to combine this? I had no idea. I wish I could tell you, I had this career plan. But I really didn't. I just, sold everything I had and came. And then, after a year in the master's, you need to do an internship to be able to graduate. Otherwise, it's like a class. So you like letras.
Right.
So you need to do an internship. So I was like, if I'm gonna do, after all those years of experience I have, I need to do an unpaid internship. I was so offended. I was like, if I'm gonna do this unpaid internship, I'm gonna try to get the best internship that I can. So then I applied for 5 positions at the United Nations. and I got called for 3, but I could only choose one, obviously. So then I worked, so that's how I started working at the UN. So I was an intern there for 3 months, and I worked full time. So the thing that got me this position specifically is because this is, so now I work there. I'm a consultant to the United Nations. And it's the same department where I took my internship. And the reason why I got there was because so it's this huge project to train peacekeepers, and she needed somebody who was creative to develop activities, like teaching activities. So when she
And acting activities too.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like she would have like, let's say, like you're teaching about the legal framework for violence against women in the United Nations. So she was like, oh my God, what activities can we do when we are doing on-site trainings? And then I was perfect for that because I'm like, when you teach a yatsushi, you become a professional in like coming up with like crazy ideas. So then when she asked me in the interview, so my interview was 3 parts, and then one of them, she gave me a bunch of tasks. And I had to come up with a project like on the spot. And I was able to, so I know that's why I got internship, because it was very impressive. So in a weird way, in like a weird cosmos way, it all sort of like fit together. So I was able to combine like my passion for human rights with my experience in education into this position. So my contract ends 2 weeks from now. Yeah, my contract ends 2 weeks from now, and we actually like developed and launched the entire gender project for the police division. So it's like a huge project. It's like all peacekeeping. We did the whole peacekeeping thing. So it was like it's crazy, but I only got it if I hadn't studied letras. And if I haven't been does it not offer my letras?
Sorry, I didn't understand it.
Anna Osterman?
Now Osterman, I think she is still there.
Okay. If I hadn't been her whole sister, I would have never got to where I am today.
So, how did you think any time when you were studying that you could be there working with United Nations and with as a peace holder? And did you any time did you pass through your mind that you were gonna end in the United States working with human rights?
No, but it's because at the time I didn't even think that I could be a teacher. You know what I mean? Like I was always very like insecure about what I could do, I guess. And so while I was studying, like in my head, the highest that I could get would be a good teaching position. You know? Then after I got a teaching position, then I started thinking, okay, what now? Then I got that other position, and then I was okay, what now? You know, I didn't have like a long-term perspective, and also because I did not think it would be possible. You know, like first of all, me working for the United Nations, and then second of all, like how I could, my specific skills could contribute to that. So I no idea. At the time, I was just happy to like be alive.
Right. And specifically, which kind of woman are you working with? Just with any kind of people from any places, anywhere in the world, or you have a specifically group to work with?
Oh yeah, well I work for the gender officer for the police division. So I work for her specifically, and then I work with another, she's from the Philippines, and I work with this other girl who's also a consultant, and she's from Norway. But my whole department is international because directly I work with both of them, and then the extended office, we have like people from everywhere and everybody. So I speak a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of French, a little bit of German, because you know everybody's from everywhere. But I also work directly with the peacekeeping missions, right? So I contact people that are actually working as peacekeepers right now, and then those people are then from everywhere, which and they are my favorite people. They're amazing. So like, you have people from Bangladesh, you have people from Congo, you have people from, you have a lot of people from Germany. So you have people from everywhere. So they move from their own state to work in the mission, right, for like a year or two, sometimes 6 months. So like, I could say probably that I work with like all the nations, because in my other, like it's literally people from everywhere. I think I have in my office, I don't think we have one American person in my office. Yeah.
That's so nice, and being able to study letras here helped you in it. So you got there with your English very good, and with some abilities to teach and to take how can I say get in touch with so many people, so different people.
Yes. Yeah. Now, if you weren't for Unicinos, I would not be here, because Unicinos I was able to practice English, right, and it made me confident to teach, which I wasn't before. I mean, they teach me how to teach, of course, but like, it also gave me confidence to teach, and like I learned how to like even like public speaking and things like that I wasn't able to do before. And I think especially like if I could like suggest something for students is to work with professors as like bolsista CNPq or whatever they call it nowadays. Just because that really like, so when I was a bolsista, I worked for Erna, and she's very demanding as a professor, so I really like developed my writing skills in English in a way that I would have never. And I know it's because of my writing skills that I got approved at the university, for example. So if you weren't for her, I wouldn't have developed that. So like definitely because of these skills, but especially I think because of like these opportunities, more than just being in class. You know, more that opportunity specifically, more than, you know what I mean? I mean, what I'm trying to say is like just going to class doesn't necessarily do anything for you. Just there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. And you seem to be very emotional talking about that and talking about your job, and is that emotional for you? Is that something that touch your heart maybe?
Let me tell you about it. It is emotional, because I am emotional. But no, it's super. It's really like, for me, it's just crazy. It's just crazy that I'm doing that, because so before it came, all my friends would joke about, oh, Jake, you're gonna work at the UN, you're gonna become Beyonce's best friend, you know, like these and I was like, sure, whatever. But, so
if you get her friend, that's okay too. So.
So like it's a lot. It's very. I think it's like, because I really think I'm like a humble person, you know. So I don't feel like, oh, I'm so cool, I work for the, you know what I mean. But like I am though very like grateful for the opportunity, for sure. Like I think, because I've been working for them for 6 months now, and I think I still haven't, like the coin hasn't dropped. You know, like I don't quite comprehend that I'm working for the United Nations yet, because otherwise I think I would be like the whole day.
Yeah, I understand you. You know, it's something that for us we are quite far away from your reality, and I think if you stop a little minute to think about that, you know, you were working to United Nations. It's just like something real big and something real representative, actually, this work with human rights and working with peace, you know. We always think about, I don't know, Madre Teresa de Calcutta or something like that, working with human rights, you know, and then suddenly for me that I'm student and I'm in my second graduation, you know, it's just like someone just like me is working over there, you know. It's something very big what we're doing, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. So like, what I do is that I train peacekeepers before they're deployed person. So I teach peacekeepers how to investigate sexual and gender-based violence, how to like open an investigative unit. So it's like very, very like specific things. But I know that it's most of it is because like I think what makes me so good at it is because when we're teachers, we just need to be more like extroverted type of people, you know. We need to be more dynamic, and, you know, we need to teach children in the teens, so we need to develop a more like extroverted type of personality so that you can be concise but also be entertaining while you're talking. But so I think a lot of my like success at work, regardless of where I worked, was always because of what teaching made me become. You know, because when you're a teacher, you're like get in a room, you're like 20 people, drop the mic. You know, you can't be like super. You can't be embarrassed. You know, you can't be like so quiet. And I think one of my coworkers at the UN say is that they think I'm super fun. That they're like I'm very professional, but that I'm not like always so serious.
Right.
So it's interesting, just like how teaching can prepare you for any job in the entire planet. Because once you teach, you, in theory, have all the people skills you need for anything. Like sometimes, you know, like sometimes you're teaching, I'm assuming you teach.
No, not yet. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about that too. Yeah, I got into Letras college because I'm a Spanish translator actually. Yeah, and then my first focus is to work with translation, but there is something making me think about teaching. I don't know yet.
I was a translator too for a while.
Yeah, I'm being, I don't know how to say in English. I'm a tradutora juramentada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Registered translator.
Yeah, and then I was thinking to be a registered translator in English too, but something is, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna teach too. I'm not sure actually.
You should. It's pretty dope. You know, on Saturdays. So I live in New York City. On Saturdays, I teach Portuguese to these two VIP students I have, and one of them is an FBI agent, and I teach him like Portuguese, so we practice like random police words in Portuguese. It's the cutest thing. It's the cutest thing when you see people learning, and you feel like they moved a little bit further because you helped them. It's like amazing, you know. And teaching also teaches you a lot about yourself. So like, for example, I think with my first semester teaching, I got this group of like 6 boys, 12-year-olds. Complete, like, devil would be an euphemism for these people. They were so terrible, you do not understand. Like, they would throw food on the fan. They would like break the windows. It was so bad, so bad. So anyway, they gave me this group. And I was like a failure. I was an absolute failure, you know. So then, because I taught them, I learned, because I was very like, I was a person that was very into like pleasing other people, you know.
Right.
Like I'm the type of person that doesn't want to bother. And this group forced me to like learn how to impose myself, you know, to be like no.
You are the boss, you know.
So like, if I had never taught that group, who knows where I would be now? You know. So like, teaching really, it's good and bad in the sense that like sometimes you go through experiences that you want to shoot yourself in the head, pretty much, because it's frustrating sometimes. But at the same time, it does like, it forces you to grow as a person. You know, like really teaching made me such a better person in like all senses of the word. So I think we should give it a try.
Maybe I'm gonna give a try for that.
I mean, the worst case scenario, you hate it. You know, that's the worst that can happen.
No, I did teach Spanish for a time, and then I quit because first I graduated in journalism. And yeah, I'm a journalist, and then I hate it actually to work as with a journalist. And
Why did you hate it?
egos, too much egos.
You would hate the UN then.
Maybe not. No, it's really bad. People are like being very well paid and saying everyone that very bad paid actually, and saying everyone they are very well paid and they are famous, and I don't like it. And then I became a translator, and then I got back to university now to change at all, to change my career and my future at all. And then I'm thinking about the teaching actually. The first idea wasn't teaching, but talking to the professors, talking to Cristina, and I don't know if you know Silvia Fosqueira. Yeah, I don't know. There's something changing about that. Maybe I'm gonna teach someday. I don't know. Maybe just thinking about it now.
Well, where do you live, if you don't mind me asking?
I live in Porto Alegre.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
if you, I used to work, you know Quatrum, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I know Quatrum and I know Yas in Porto Alegre. So and I know they're always looking for Spanish teachers. I mean, they're always looking for conversation. But if you know English and Spanish, I'm pretty sure they'll be interested in giving you an opportunity, because it's so difficult to find Spanish teachers with time to teach.
Yeah, and my English, you can see, it's a little bit stuck. I lived in England for a year a long time ago. Yeah, but a long time ago, 12 years, I came back to Brazil. So I'm waiting to practice some more at university, and then maybe try to do that. It's just like waiting, giving me some time in this transition. Yeah, so it's.
Your English is so fluent, don't worry about it. The thing is that sometimes you have to force your classmates to practice English.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do. I had to always force them to speak English with me, because that was the only place that I could practice.
Yeah, and it's bad. It's so a few places you can practice here. It's just the university actually. So yeah, and it's hard. It's very hard. So Janaína, I have to go, girl. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's so nice to talk to you. And really, I told Cristina that I had to talk to you, because I had to talk to you. She said, ask her to send a video. I said, no, I need to talk to her, because it's someone that's from here, that being from São Leopoldo. Actually, I'm from São Leopoldo too, and seeing you working with human rights, that was the thing that makes me study journalism actually. It's just something that I need to talk to you. It's like you have a fan here.
Well, let me tell you that I'm actually from Bento Gonçalves, so I'm from even like a smaller town. Right? Do you know Bento Gonçalves?
Yes, I know.
So I'm actually from Bento Gonçalves. So if I can make it, anybody can make it.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. You have a fan right now. You can know you have a fan.
But really, if I can give you a recommendation, is everything that led me to be here right now was all those things that I did without overthinking. When I decided to come and take my master's, I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I just needed to do it. You know what I mean? So I just went and did it. And then you never know what happens when you change something in your life. So if I can give you a suggestion, since you're trying to change careers, just never say no to any opportunity. I taught, I was a teacher, I was a coordinator, I was a translator, I was an interpreter.